Start of the game at Princes Park. The Blues to kick to the left of screen. Carlton and Hawthorn on a perfect winter's day. Big crowd, full house. Madden, Bradley got a touch. Crawshay back to Gleeson, who's back on the team today. So's Kernahan. His handball missed Pearce, tapped out by Clappe in the Hannah direction. Didn't he cop one early last week? Collins just dropped it down. Jarman's hands good. Tallis under a bit of pressure. Round the body, back into the centre square. Important ball here early to be won. Taylor over the top. Crawshay too slow. Hudson's gone. Koutafidis has got hold of him. Handball by Dean to Bradley. Bradley to Hannah. Good build up by the Blues. Mistake by Hudson. Hannah will chip it to Kernahan. He's got it.
There's a bit of a problem there, Bruce. Oh, Stephen, steady down. Two Carlton players by themselves.
This will test him though, Don, in the pocket from about 50. Great to see him back, Kernahan. So the captain in the first minute of the game. Nice kick right there. Hudson sort of punched it away, a half punch. Gleeson can't quite weave his way through. Mitchell turns, spins on the left. Good goal. Well done. He'll like that, Barry. He needs a big game today to keep himself right there as far as the Blues are concerned, and he started quite spectacularly.
Well, it was interesting when that ball came into that full forward position that Madden was definitely held by Crawshay. You see there should have been a free kick paid Madden's way. He used his body well. Mitchell will finally get onto this ball. He picks up a lot of possessions, Barry, but he just doesn't finish off his work. But that time he did finish off his work. Let's hope he continues.
Yes, first goal to Barry Mitchell. Back in the centre. Madden has to sit underneath it and wait. The ball falls free, out wide onto the wing. Running onto it is Mackay. Kicks quickly up forward. Hannah by himself in space. Met by Holland. Blocks up. Kernahan plays on quickly. Oh! Langford steals it from him. Kernahan tries to make up with a recovery. Back to Ratton. Ratton through. Second goal to the Blues.
That was simply unbelievable. For experienced players, Kernahan, Langford and Collins, to do what they did in that passage of play is unbelievable. Cut off by Kernahan. Look at the Collins. Fumbles the ball. Langford again fumbles and cut out by Ratton. Unbelievable stuff.
Mitchell off for the blood rule, Don. He was bleeding after that first goal, and he's come off. So it'll be delayed O'Sullivan to come on. Great start for Carlton here with a couple of goals in a couple of minutes.
Hannah's got away on 2 occasions, Bruce. Ray Jenkins got the job there.
Well, they took a long time to get a goal last week, didn't they, Carlton? They haven't taken so long today. Madden gets the tap out. Hannah again. Tallis getting his second kick. Not bad either. Gives Taylor every chance. Really should have taken it. Camporelli kept in there. Taylor's little one went nowhere. Pritchard crunched fairly. The umpire says, here's O'Sullivan. Free kick now against Pritchard.
No. Well, Dean really did lay that heavy bump. Came up, remonstration, and it was Pritchard who got caught. Dean certainly the aggressor.
From half back centre wing here, Dean. Neat low kick. Kernahan the target. Collins stood his ground pretty well in the front. Langford crashes through. Madden tries to tap it out. McGuinness and Pritchard together. Good skills, yes. A very good handle actually by McGuinness. Off balance to Pritchard to half forward. Getting back was Sexton. Not paid. Christou worried out of it. Gibson out of play. Half-forward bone in the action there for Hawthorn. They trail by a couple of goals with Shannon Gibson. His first season of AFL. Madden setting himself with Crawshay. You think that Madden would be relishing this, getting a run early. Allen's been doing a lot of the ruck work. Dean, it was a hot ball. Pritchard again, quick kick to full forward. Dunstall gives it off. Stevenson kicks a goal. That's a good reply. Just what the Hawks needed.
things just didn't look good as far as Hawthorn are concerned. Although they've kicked that goal there, a couple of signs, the way they're handling the ball is pretty hot, but the commitment by the Carlton players, especially around midfield, really hard at the ball and also at the man. There's the goal, the steadier that maybe Hawthorn wanted. Stevenson.
Yes, terrific young player, Shane Stevenson. Very, very good around the goals. Back in the centre, 2-1. 1 goal the difference. Madden's been good early. Crawshay has to stand underneath this. Retains possession of the ball. Quick hands ends up with Holland. Kicks it out wide on his left foot. Going to ground on a pack is Gibson. Falls out short again. And Randall Bone caught with the ball high and will accept the free kick. The former Crow on true centre wing looks back in towards centre half forward. Packer plays Taylor in front over the back to Hudson. It's caught with a footy. Terrific desperation by Dean. Ball comes out to Pritchard, shoots at goal. Silvani and Hudson's over the line, touched. So first point of this game goes to Darren Pritchard. 1 goal, 1 Hawthorn, 2 goals Carlton.
O'Sullivan off and Barry Mitchell's come back on, having had that blood on his forehead attended to.
Silvani short danger. Ratton had to win it one out against Tallis. Gee, had some confidence in him, Silvani. Ratton switches it out wide. Gets to Whitehead and half back. Whitehead looks for Spalding in centre wing. Holland goes with him. Spalding in the front spot, fell over. Hudson's left-hand handball, reasonable. McGuinness twists, turns, left foot not so good, but he's under pressure. Now Pearce away, looks for Kernahan. Langford with him, goes early, Langford. Kernahan gets his hands on it, tries to push it in the direction of Hannah. Collins gets back. On the left now, Collins under pressure, out towards half-back. Holland sits and waits. Ratton with him, with Koutafidis, and I think Holland will be pretty happy here to see the ball go out of play.
Because it was a 3-on-1 situation and Holland really had to do something there, otherwise Carlton could have taken advantage.
Bit of Silvani about Holland, isn't it? The way he looks and moves, similar physique. He's at the beginning of his career, and Silvani right into the heart of his. Koutafidis, Mitchell got a little one in the back, no free kick. Jarman there. He's getting a haircut more like his brothers every week, as there'll be a ball up.
Yes, ball up half forward, 65 metres from the Carlton goal. Packer players around it. Umpire Andrew Coates puts it down with Scoop and Westgarth, the other umpires. Holland accepts the ball from the ruckwork, very cleverly hits it forward. The hand pass misses. Ratton, terrific kick in towards Madden. Broken off by Clapper. It ends up with Crawshay. Crawshay over to Jenke. Jenke out wide to Pritchard. Back to Jenke. Terrific smother there by Camporelli. Unfortunately can't gain possession. It ends up back with Pritchard. Pritchard back towards the Mark Graham direction. Straight through his hands. Quick handball over to McGuinness. McGuinness has Hudson loose up the ground. Runs to the 50-metre line. Koutafidi clothing and does very well indeed. Also a fantastic tackle from behind there. Taylor pressures right on here early. Back to Bone. First shot at goal for the Hawthorn side, and out of bounds on the full. So Randall Bone, a couple of touches early in the game will do his confidence some good. Just the 13 games, of course, 12 for Adelaide. Kick short, finds Mitchell unattended. So Barry Mitchell looks forward and finds Sexton in the middle of the ground, almost finds him.
Under pressure, Collins. Collins tries to hold it up now with McKay. A couple of terrific competitors, those two, aren't they? The 2 5s. Now Gleeson off the ground and O'Sullivan on. Let's hope Gleeson's okay. He's just come back from an injury. Noticed Hudson a moment ago not moving all that freely for Hawthorn. Koutafidis' quick kick to centre half forward. Well played McGuinness. Hannah onto it. Still with Hannah. They'll love this if he kicks it. He has. Well, that'll do Hannah's confidence a world of good. He was a bit shattered last week, shell-shocked, after being hip and shouldered out of it early by Keogh, but he's bounced back strongly so far today.
Well, he played on Winmar last week and really neither player dominated the game, but he has made his mark early by getting out by himself out on that outer flank. But Carlton really are running in numbers at the moment. They're hitting the Hawthorn guys, 2 of them at once.
Well, Carlton have matched their goal tally from last week against St Kilda with 3 in the first 11 or 12 minutes of this game. Neither ruckman really controlled the footy in the air. Many players around this footballers is forced forward marginally towards Hawthorn. Hudson with a quick kick forward. Coming out to meet it is Silvani and does very well indeed. tries to set up the play in the middle with a wobbly kick. It falls to Graham onto his left foot, another ordinary kick. Skills players under pressure here. The ball is very hot at the moment. Camporelli comes in underneath the ball, does well, gets it out wide, runs in the direction of Peter Dean, who suffers it off the ground and out of bounds in the interchange area in front of the Carlton bench. And Carlton lead by 11 points with just under 13 minutes to play in this first quarter.
Hawthorn have made a move. Graham's gone on to Hannah and Jenkins coming up midfield.
Yes, and Camporelli really did park underneath that and really did deserve the free kick too. First at the footy and jumped upon by the Hawthorn players.
Done well in his first season, Camporelli.
Jenkins now with Clappe.
Premiership player in Adelaide, Camporelli with Woodville West Torrens. Good kick too for distance in the Sporting direction. Went early. Well done by Graham because Koutafidis was onto it. The hands had to be quick there because the tackle by Christo was pretty hot. High tackle on Hawthorn, free kick surely. Blue fans won't like
the way they tackle Carlton.
Mark Graham at centre wing. So Hawthorn steadying here because the Blues came out strongly, but the Hawks are still in touch early. Hudson wide. Now Dunstall and Silvani are alone together. Now Madden gets back. A wrestle behind Madden. Madden in the front spot. Sexton got rid of it. Again Silvani able to run away. Sweeps the handball to Sporting. The Duke gives it back to Silvani. A hot ball for O'Sullivan. He stood his ground very well. Ratton's handball to Camporelli. Camporelli under pressure. Bradley onto it. Worried out of it in the end. Good contest here. Nothing quite hitting the mark from Carlton's point of view. Probably beginning with the fact that Sporting got hold of it, unable really to get it cleanly. And it was all about a 70-30 from there on in, and Hawthorn did pretty well to hold it up. Mitchell onto it. Jenkins got hold of him. Still Mitchell. Jenkins with him. Taken by Tallis. This gives Dunstall a hope here. Though Silvani works. Oh, great mark, Sexton. That was courage personified. Silvani was having a go with Dunstall. Sexton's kicked it beautifully to Clappe.
Clappe out wide, runs across the wing, looks at options up forward, goes long in the Hannah direction, from behind. Yes.
Well, you could criticise Graham in that occasion. He was in front. He's run off Hannah once. He's back into the pack. Hard to do. But Hannah had the sit.
Yes, it's amazing with players with Stephen Kernahan back in the side, how other players lift around. He takes the best player on the forward line, and other players just seem to lift. So Hannah, 50 metres. I have seen him kick this far in footy. He is usually a pretty good kick. It's gone long. It is a goal. They're fourth. Terrific start from Carlton. So Millham Hannah gets his second and has so far done a very damaging play.
Word, Malcolm, he is, because of the fact that he's got tremendous pace. But I like the way that Graham moved off him. He got the free kick, Graham, out on centre wing when Mitchell tackled him. So he put the pressure a bit on Hannah. But Hannah showed his great athleticism by that leap and coming up over the back of Graham. It's a problem at the moment, Hannah.
Flying start now for Carlton with that goal. 4 goals to 1-1. Woods running with Bradley in the first term. Mitchell's quick kick to half forward. Collins couldn't quite. Pearce with McGuinness. McGuinness quickly to the boundary line. Will want it to roll out. O'Sullivan after it. It is out of play now. Ratton picking up Darren Jarman. And as I said, Tony Woods running with Craig Bradley. There's O'Sullivan. Hasn't quite been able to consolidate himself, has he? He had that bad knee injury at Waverley Park. In and out of the team, making up the numbers. Flashes of brilliance. Clappe with him, Darren Jarman. Camporelli. Ratton could kick this. No, goes to Kernahan. Front spot, Langford. Oh, Hannah's going to kick a third. Look at that one, Mill.
Well, he can do no wrong, his third goal, but it was a good effort by Graham because he was outnumbered once again in the middle, a sandwich. But he got the ball down, it just didn't run. And here's the kick from Ratton, a high ball. Graham did well to knock it down, but there, Langford overrunning it. He's just having a purple patch, Mill, Hannah.
So the Hawthorn side under siege here at the 15-odd minute mark of this first quarter. 5 goals. Great kicking. Hannah with 3 of them. The star early in the game. And Madden to Mitchell at the start of that play. The centre was just fantastic. Madden again. This time it's pretty well read there by Cooper. Kicks the ball forward and Christo, dropping back, takes an easy mark. As his Carlton fence quite often does, just gives each teammate an opposition player to run off. And Peter Dean will go back to Christo and really sharing the football at the moment. Now goes long. The crowd right behind him. Kernahan the target. Hannah almost. Crawshay claims the mark. It's raffled at the back. Ends up with Graham on his right foot. And the free kick given down the ground for a high tackle from Kernahan after the ball had left the area. Now Jason Taylor with the football. Out wide, calling for players to go long. Randall Bones will be his target. With him is Mackay. It really is a height disadvantage. Bone does very well indeed to pick the ball up off the ground. Collins runs onto it here. Goes in short towards Dunstall. Over his head, but behind. A terrific mark there taken by Shannon Gibson. Onto his left hand. Over to Stevenson. Second goal. Second for the Hawks.
Well, it's always great to see backmen running down and really putting the pressure on. McGuinness has done it a couple of times for Hawthorn, getting down midfield and also up near the forward flank. At that time, it was Collins who was responsible in getting that ball across to Gibson. And Gibson, who is a very, very good player, in turn getting it across to Stevenson for his second.
(2-1) now Hawthorn, 5 goals Carlton. Stevenson with a couple. Hannah kicked 3 goals in 5 minutes prior to that. Ratton getting lots of touches. Mackay out wide. Graham and Hannah to go for it. Goes off the ground, Graham, but Christo's got hold of it.
Far enough, surely.
Short. Kudafides got it. Was going on. Had a couple running for him. Now short again, Hannah. Couldn't quite this time, O'Sullivan. Wanted Clappe. Taken by Mitchell. Clappe. Hannah. Squeezes it cleverly. Spalding's got it. Well, Hannah's been outstanding. 6 kicks, 3 goals in the first 16, 17 minutes of the game.
Well, he's got it, Earl Spalding. Could go anywhere. Best kick for goal, Earl.
They haven't missed so far, Don, have they? The Blues now Spalding from 48 metres. Well, beautiful.
What a start. He's having his best year at centre-half forward, Earl Spalding. He's a real worker. I do not know why Melbourne ever let this man go. He's just a worker. He plays the centre-half back. He can play at centre-half forward. Do the ruck work at a pinch. He's just a real worker. The only bad part of his game is kicking for goal, but that time, true, he hasn't let the Carlton side down. 6 straight goals.
Yes, back in the centre. Carlton on a roll. If Spalding can kick him from 48 metres out, they really are hot. Mitchell's done this a couple of times already. That's reminiscent of his good days in the Swans. Ball's thumped forward by Spalding. Kick quickly forward. Jarman, who really can't get into the game so far. Back to Mitchell. On to Kudafides with that extra yard of pace. Kicks it long and low and goal. 7 goals to Carlton as the avalanche continues at Optus Oval.
Well, it's quite evident the way they had started Carlton. They had numbers at the ball. When a Hawthorn guy got the ball, he was tackled by 2 Carlton players. And that's usually indicative of a team that's really souped up and out for a game of football. Look at the numbers around here. Mitchell again gets the ball. Kudafides, who had excellent form early in the season, going in, and his first.
Well, a real fly now for the Blues. 7 goals to 2-1. Madden dominating the centre square, as is his team. Ratton was in there, free kick against Hawthorn. And it could be Mitchell, or is it Kudafides? Or Bradley? Let's have a look. Bradley's there. It's going to be Craig Bradley. First kick for him coming up. Just looking around. Now Kernahan leads. Bradley kicks it to him. He's got it.
That was a a good mark because he's a big man to jump over Crawshay on the second attempt. Kernahan, good effort.
Interesting there, Don Langford left behind and unable to come from the back to help Crawshay. Kernahan, who had one shot for goal, a bit further out from this on the other side on an even tighter angle. He really should kick this. They're going well, the Blues. I think we're going to get the record books out. 8 goals in such a hurry to 2-1.
Well, that's his first. Stephen Kernahan, as we know, he's been out for a couple of weeks with injuries, but he certainly is a focal point up forward. And as Bruce mentioned, Langford a long way behind too, after taking that mark over Crawshay. He's got the shoulder strap, Stephen, the right shoulder. Skin-coloured tape.
Already 6 goal kickers for Carlton in this first quarter, this blitzering first quarter with 10 goals from both teams. Madden's causing the damage. He really is pushing the ball forward. Mitchell's prepared to run onto it, and a free kick has been picked out and is going the way of Hawthorn, and is actually going to Raiden Tallis.
What about little player Tallis? He really does put himself on the line as far as getting that ball is concerned.
Tallis out wide, unmarked is Taylor. And Taylor on the true centre wing. Not much value from the kick. Forces them to play this side then from the wing.
Oh, surely there's a free kick.
Bone in front. Mitchell in his brightest start for the game for some time. Forces the ball out along. 65 metres around from the Hawthorn goal. And once again, that wide play has just enabled the Carlton backman to cover opposition forwards.
There's the free kick. Look, if you cannot tell me that's not holding the man.
Koutafidis loses the ball in the tackle. Off the ground, ends up with Dean. Dean with the gloves to Mitchell. Mitchell sells everyone the dummy and does it very well indeed. Back onto his left foot, into the Sporting direction, punched away by Holland. Ball comes to Cooper, caught. Fantastic knockback by Ratton, and we'll get the free kick for high ball. Camporelli over to Spalding. Spalding with a very clever kick. Kernahan almost. Terrific pressure from Langford, and Langford goes over to McGuinness, who has trouble picking it up. Falls to Pearce. Pearce onto the left foot, and it's kicked there. 9th goal. Would you believe it?
And McGuinness has gone across and having a few words to Kernahan. There's no love lost there, because as soon as that goal was kicked, Kernahan back-chatted McGuinness. But the worrying thing was that Langford just didn't seem interested. He put a good effort on here. He went for Kernahan. Lucky not to give away the free kick, but then he just stood there, did not get across and help McGuinness. And then another Carlton goal. This is unbelievable.
The Blues 9 goals to 2-1. The record book says their best first quarter ever against Hawthorn was in 1941. They kicked 7 goals 5. They've gone past that. That's against Hawthorn. So that record that has stood for 54 years has gone here today. Spalding wide to Ratton. It's an avalanche, isn't it? Hawthorn in an absolute mess here as Ratton goes to Pearce.
Maybe it's a bit late, but they've got to upset this Carlton concentration.
There's a fair bit of it's coming from around the centre of the ground, though, isn't it? Just
what would you do, Malcolm? would you send Yates out there?
Pearce, will this be 10 straight? No.
Oh, gee, they're not happy about it either.
9-1 to 2-1. Dream start, isn't it?
Yes, Langford, the only option really is go down the middle of the ground. Terrific pack of players. Falls to Cooper. Terrific pressure again from the Blues. To Koutafidis, to Mackay, to Hannah.
This is not the first time he's been out there by himself.
No, unfortunately we set up some kickoffs. So you do get players by themselves by zoning. Once again, the target is Kernahan, and why not? Why not? dominant. Just makes a difference having those great players there, doesn't it?
Well, he's something to aim for, and as you mentioned earlier, he takes the best player. Here he is once again, but everything, look, Jenky's gone underneath the ball, misjudged the ball. Langford's not even in the contest. Everything's just falling off for Hawthorn.
So Stephen Kernahan for his second goal of the afternoon, his third shot at it. One fell short early in the quarter. Doesn't take a long run up and kicks to the right. So second point for Carlton, 9-2 to Jubilee Hawthorn 2-1. 3 minutes 15 seconds to go in the first quarter.
And really, there's nothing the Hawthorn Brains Trust can do in a situation like this. It's not a matter of moving players around. It's Carlton's just their intensity. Even if they haven't got the ball, they're really laying some heavy tackles.
Now, Langford being warned to go with it. There'll be a bounce, surely. No, he's going to get a pretty long warning. He might have been fortunate. Crawshay, Spalding, down to Mitchell. O'Sullivan went without it. Back to Camporelli, a big hook this one. And out on the 4. So suddenly they're spraying them. But they've still got it in the forward line. Hawthorn shell-shocked. Nothing happening at all for them. Holland had a fair bit of publicity this year. He's had a promising start to his AFL career. Mitchell going great guns. Thumps it back to centre half forward.
That's good by Graham. He's done that a couple of times to Hannah. He's playing him in front.
Pritchard runs off him. Had a couple of touches early. Goes out towards Cooper. At half-back, McKay holds him up. Cooper away towards Taylor. Good grab, actually, because he had to wait for it. And Dean was coming home strongly behind him. Short to Jenky. They could go over the top here. Pritchard all alone. Gee, took a long time. Jenky will get there now. Pritchard at about 60. Dunstall motionless in the goal square.
Still going slowly into their forward line. All they've done is retain possession.
He's going to go long and hope that Dunstall can take the mark. Dunstall tries to work. There's 3 Carlton players up. Christou's hands are good. Ratton, Whitehead. All too easy at the moment for Carlton. Not such a good kick. Out on the 4, looking for Kernahan, who's run right up from full forward. But Dunstall not wanting to lead at the moment too quickly.
It's interesting to see, Bruce, when that quick kick came in from Pritchard, that Spalding was down there helping out. Now he's playing at centre half forward. Taylor's
kick in the bone direction again. He's found himself in front on many occasions. Madden there to help out. Goes back to Christou. Inside to Sexton, who's been a terrific player for the Blues this year. Goes out wide on his left foot. Mackay runs hard. Doesn't it show on his face? He is absolutely committed to that footy and kicks it along the boundary line and really has set up something special. Clapper comes in to help out. Take a bow, Andrew Mackay. Fantastic play. So just forward of the wing, Carlton attacking side. Matthew Clapper from the Eagles. Spalding in front. Pushes it down to the pack. Jarman off the ground. Very, very few touches. Barry Mitchell has been very good early, and the ball's forced over the line by Rayden Tallis. So Carlton by 43 points. 1 minute 20 of this first quarter to go. It has been a sensational 9-goal quarter by the Blues. Boundary throw in. Crawshay gets Justin Madden out of the way. Jarman for one of his few touches. Turns Hudson inside out, who runs into trouble. Fantastic tackling by the Carlton side again. Christou knocks it out. Whitehead, very cool players, this young fella from Albury, kicks it out wide. Koutafidis to help the defence out. Does set it up lovely with a kick wide to Madden. Remarks unattended as Cooper comes in to guard him up. Now Justin Madden, defensive side of the wing for the Blues.
Honing in on 300 Madden at 296 games. Spalding good. Camporelli feeds off him nicely.
Too high by Pritchard and a little late.
So down the ground, Don, and
act of frustration by Pritchard, and the emergency umpire has come out and said something to him.
Unlike Pritchard, inside the last half minute of this opening term, can the Blues make it a 10-goal quarter? Kernahan at the back. Pearce, Hannah, Collins, Hannah. No, it's a behind. It was a race, wasn't it, between Collins and Hannah and the footy. And right at the end, the football actually accelerated, I felt.
He's an amazing athlete, Hannah. He's just an amazing athlete.
Did his knee, didn't he, in his first game of footy. He's out for a long time and has made a tremendous comeback. Oh, what a quarter. Tremendous performance by Carlton. They're getting a fantastic ovation. That's the best first quarter they've ever had against Hawthorn in the long history between the two clubs. 9-3-57 to 2-1-13. That's the score at quarter time. Start of the second quarter at Princes Park. Carlton was sensational in the opening term. They kicked 9 goals to 2. Mill Hannah with 3, the outstanding player. Madden had a wonderful first term. Camporelli taken by Tallis. Tallis to fall forward. Dunstall's first lead for the day. Good grab in the front spot. It's his first positive movement all day.
And McGuinness is off. McGuinness is off, and Jenkins gone down to the back pocket picking up Pearce.
Well, Don, it's an understatement to say that Hawthorn need it, but it will be a good start if he can kick this.
They were pretty crisp when they did go in forward, Bruce. I mean, Carlton had kicked 2 goals, and then Hawthorn came back very cleanly through Stevenson, but it's a good passage of play out of the centre.
Dunstall from 35 metres out, straight in front. He's kicked a goal.
And really, there'd be a lot of pressure on the captain in this situation. Dunstall, the captain, he really did have to kick it, finish off the work. Crochet getting the favourable bounce, pushed it through, and there, Tallis. I'm impressed with this young fellow. He really does put himself in. Second-year player, came from the Eastern Rangers.
So Jason Dunstall with his first goal, and first goal of this second quarter, much needed from the Hawks.
And Daniel Huff is on too, Malcolm. He's replaced McGuinness, and he's gone to the half-forward flank, number 15.
Madden with a big fist forward. Kicked back by the Hawthorn defence. Sexton, who's been very, very tight across half-back. Kernahan clever to Sullivan. Camporelli, support from Mitchell. Back to Sullivan. On his favoured left foot. Centres the ball. Only Hudson there. Well, unbelievably. Doesn't quite go at it like he should have. Neither does Madden. But guess who's onto the ball now? Hannah in this purple start of the game. Evades 1-2. And then kicks the ball out of bounds on the full when the third pressure from a Hawthorn player came.
Just like playing against Hawthorn, Hannah, he kicked 5 goals, 1 game last year. I think it was last year at Waverley.
Big jump from behind from Koutafidis. Nick Holland had a piece of it, but Koutafidis certainly hands on the football. Back on the wing today, very damaging early. Most Carlton players is allowed to run. And then kicked to Kernahan, who really wasn't chased by anybody. Langford some 30 metres behind him, unbelievably. And Stephen Kernahan already with 1 goal, 1 point and 1 miss. So he's got a full book in early in the second quarter.
Matthew Young coming on and Hudson going off, and you know why, because he only went with 1 hand, Hudson.
Yes, wasn't great play, Don. Not great confidence for the teammates around. Nevertheless, Stephen Kernahan with a kick. What a great kick. That's his second. And the Blues 10.
Yes, well, there's bad marking. I mean, they started well. They showed commitment, Hawthorn, in the second quarter from the bandstand. Dunstall scored, but look at this. This is unbelievable, isn't it? It's just unforgivable. Kernahan made them pay with his second goal.
Five marks to Kernahan and a couple of goals. 10-3 to 3-1. Madden again. Jarman. Sexton. Camporelli winning his wing. O'Sullivan and Collins. O'Sullivan, a left footer, able to get around onto it. To Pearce. They're so smooth, Carlton and Shaw. At the moment, everything is working for them. Pearce, low one. Beautiful kick to Kernahan. Well, if he goes back and stumps this through, you reckon Hawthorn's spirit will be broken. It is very early, I know.
And the worrying signs there, Bruce, was that Collins, an experienced player, was led to the ball by O'Sullivan, and then Jenke was led to the ball by Pearce, and here's Langford being led to the ball by Kernahan. They're the experienced fellows in this Hawthorn side.
Kick from just inside 50, Kernahan. It's a good one. It's another one. Well, he's come back all right, hasn't he, Kernahan? He's taken 6 marks already.
It's a shocking feeling being a Hawthorn player out there at the moment. I experienced that back in about 1967 when Carlton kicked a record score against Hawthorn, which was an AFL or VFL record score at that stage, and it was here in Princes Park.
Was that the 30 goals 30, Don?
Yeah,
I remember that number. Yeah. Actually, interesting, the cheer squad, the Carlton cheer squad had our last fortnight is best forgotten. Let's beat the Hawks and knock them rotten. Well, heavens above, haven't they read that, the Carlton side? This is where it's all happened for them so far. In the middle of the ground, they've been very hard and committed. Camporelli's been set up out wide again. O'Sullivan reads it beautifully. Andy Collins listens to Don Scott, but unfortunately the ball floats over his head, and that's what happens sometimes. And the kick into Spalding, why not? Doesn't matter where the ball's going at the moment. A blue pair of hands is grabbing hold of it. And El Spalding, who kicked a 48-metre goal beautifully in the first quarter, is going to kick from about 51 metres this time. And good heavens, as this goes through, you can put down your glasses because it's a Blue Boys day. The kick is on. Oh, no, it doesn't matter. Stephen Kernahan will take the mark on the line. So we're saved. It's not all over yet. Kernahan with his 7th mark goes back for goal number 4 and his 3rd, seems like in as many minutes. Unbelievably, Carlton 12, Hawthorn 3.
Well, I suppose what comes of interest out of that is the way that Spalding lined up for goal. I criticised his kicking in the past, his accuracy when he was kicking for goal, but he only took a couple of steps this time, so obviously he thinks it's in his run-up or his approach to kicking the ball, because it was a very accurate kick from some 40 to 50 metres out by Spalding. The change has been made. Holland has now gone on to Kernahan. Langford's gone to centre-half back on Spalding.
Well, a remarkable sequence here. Kernahan doing a Hannah. 3 goals in about 4 or 5 minutes. In fact, 3 and 3, Kernahan. 12-3, 3-1. What a bath. Madden. Sexton, who's won the ball repeatedly in this quarter. Ratton. Kernahan goes again. Punched away by Holland. Young, who's just come onto the ground against the tide. Back to Woods. Woods to Cooper. Cooper goes long. Why not? Up to half forward, Taylor, Sexton, runs away, Camporelli again. Gee, they've had a fair go on the wings.
Opponent.
Carlton, Camporelli keeps it in. It's got Mitchell all alone. Have a look at this. It's like a drill at the moment to Whitehead. Whitehead, Kernahan, can he get into the picture? Oh, bad mistake. Mill's going to kick another one. Can't believe this. Well, Don's pulling his hair out. He hasn't got much left. 13-3 to 3-1. Oh, Scotty, tell us all about it.
Well, the player ducked his head, didn't he? Look at this. Well, now the ball comes again. He's got it, Graham. Whitehead. Look, Graham's got it set up. Ducks the head. McGuinness coming on for Hawthorn.
So the Hawthorn side really in tatters.
Jenke off Malcolm.
Yes. The ruck. Crawshay, Madden again. Mitchell becoming a possession out of the middle of the ground. Holland at least commits himself in front. Good on you, son. Terrific stuff. And Spalding, I believe, will be grabbed high and get the free kick in the true centre-half forward position here at Carlton. And in the goal square, Hannah leads. Guess who? Well.
I watched Graham on the square. Hannah. Oh, come on, Mark. You've got to really tighten up. He just was too lax. He was in the square and Hannah just trotted away or ran away. And look how far he's behind.
Yes, he had to close down, but Miller and Hannah, 4 goals. 3 in the first, 1 in this quarter so far. Unbelievably. Carlton, just raining goals. Hannah kicks poorly and wobbles it through for a point, I'd suggest, off hands. And once again, at least Holland was there to contest with Kernahan.
17 shots to 4. Well, just no way back here, is there, for Hawthorn?
And there's not much the coach can do either, Bruce. I mean, it's not much. It's not a case of moving players around. They're all down everywhere.
McGuinness caught.
That's a great tackle by Piercy. Everything's going their way. Their tackling's paying off for them. He's an impressive player, this kid.
Goes short, Hannah again. Front spot.
That's better.
Good punch from the back. McGuinness had one crack at it. Gee, Hawthorn unlucky there not to get one. Young's high ball to centre wing. Dean, Taylor, Christou should have given a free kick away. Bone, oh, Christou clever though. Was on his hands and knees a moment ago, then thumps it 60 metres to Spalding. It comes off hand. McGuinness concedes. Lucky for him, Holland was on the end of it, goes wide. And the boundary line with Pritchard and Camporelli. Camporelli's been tremendous early. He's had 6 kicks and 4 handballs.
Taylor's going, I think, up into the back line. Bruce, the Hawthorn runner, is out there. George Stone. And he's signalling and beckoning Taylor to come up the ground. Crawshay's going down into the forward pocket, so maybe they're just going to try and have a mobile ruckman running against Madden.
Gibson's handball. Collins have fitted the fumbles. Jarman, little give. Pritchard handballed it out. Got restrained. Free kick. Advantage given. Jarman out wide. Gets to Langford. Langford will go to Dunstall. Dunstall fell over. Silvani works it to the line. It's close. It's still in at the moment. This is how well they're going. The defenders don't want it to go out. Brilliant play. McKay all runs too far. Yes, gone.
Yes, you called that pretty well then, Chris. Safety first has always been a terrific policy that deep, but the confidence of Silvani then to run that ball back in was just unbelievable. But that's exactly how Carlton are playing. And here's Tony Woods with the ball, half forward flank, looks in the Dunstall direction.
Oh, there's a free kick.
Right.
Oh, he's paid it. Play on.
And then Christou mops up, tries to tap it out. It actually stays in again. Amazingly, that ball on that boundary line. Madden underneath it, does well to stand his ground. Over to Bone, hits the post. It's actually half it on for his first run. So the young Teal Cup captain from last year gets his first score in league footy, which is a point. Unfortunately for him and Hawthorn, actually hit the post.
Daniel Harford, the 18-year-old, as Malcolm said, first game. He won't forget this in a hurry. Hasn't been his fault, but it's 13-3. Silvani. Mitchell, here's a chance for the Hawks. Tallis at 50. Handball pretty good. Gets back to Stevenson, who's kicked 2 of the 3 goals. Dunstall sets himself, flies. Christou, they're conceding nothing. Short to Whitehead. They must be enjoying themselves, Carlton, today. The appetite for the footy will be so high at the moment. McKay, look at this to Matt, a panic.
Well, that's Taylor's man.
And go over the top to Ratton. He does cute that one. Now Spalding's on again with another cutesy. Kernahan will be on in a moment. Earl the Pearl, the Duke, the left foot, not bad. Point of the goal square. They set themselves, and Dean's dropped down to take the mark.
Now, Dean trotted down with Taylor. Taylor was a loose man, and Dean just trotted down. There he is with the gloves. Bandaged elbow.
It's a hard man, isn't he, Dean? He thought he might miss a game or 2 with injury. Clapet's off. Beaumont's on. Dean's got another one.
Well, they thought he had a leg injury, a broken leg to be precise, last week after the St Kilda game, but it just turned out to be a badly bruised leg. Here's Madden. Ratton from Yarra Glen. That's where he started from. Yarra Valley. Spalding, who sets it up high, does it easily. Shows his class, Spalding. He's also a good cricketer, or was a good cricketer. And Peter Dean, also known as a good basketballer away from the football arena.
Yes, you know you're going well when your half-back line starts kicking goals, and Peter Dean manages to get the 14. really has started here in the centre of the ground. Hawthorn work it way forward. Unfortunately, under pressure is Richard. Richard gets it out wide. Running player is Stevenson. Smothered from Dean. Picked up for a one-step kick from Jarman. Christou underneath it. Gibson falls over. Silvani's been very good at this. He really has been terrific on the ground. Mackay works his way through a couple of Hawthorn opponents, and Whitehead gets it and goes for the boundary line, and we'll see the free kick will be given downfield. Anthony Koutafidis will take it. Half-back flank for the Carlton side. Looks inside and Christou by himself. He has players everywhere, including Mackay, Sexton. They're all still on. It'll go to that player now in Sexton. Got a paddock in front of him. Misses Camperelli and goes the longer one to Kernahan, and dropping back is Crawshay to fill in the hole. For the first time probably in this match we've seen the ball actually held up in front of Kernahan. Crawshay undecided. Now goes Longish back to the middle. Big fly, Sexton unable to control it. The ball's kicked forward. Stevenson and Whitehead. Terrific tackle from Whitehead. Dispossesses the ball. Christou goes short. And out wide is Clappe, takes the mark, unattended half-back flank.
Camperelli from half-back to centre wing.
Good. Crawshay backed into it.
Cooper. Dean, well done. Kernahan, is it O'Pearce on the end of a beautiful play, Dean.
Gee, he's quick. He is exceptionally quick, this young man.
Another change for the Hawks, Don.
Randall Bone coming off, and Dean is following Crawshay and really putting the pressure. Now Crawshay's supposed to be playing half-forward flank.
Dean kicked one in the opening term. That's a good kick, another one.
His second 2-goal one to this young fellow up on that forward line. He's a tall forward pocket, tall half forward. He's got a lot of speed. Peter Dean will get involved here. Crawshay's up there. Now Crawshay's up there because Dean's putting the pressure on by running down the ground. Now they're playing across the half-back line, and there it was, Dean delivering the ball beautifully to Pearce.
So 6 goals this quarter to Carlton, just 1 for the Hawks. The merciful approach here from Carlton won't subside, and this is a fellow who's doing a fair bit of damage. Madden again, down to Bradley, just can't grab hold of it. Cut off by Langford, who looks a bit steamed up. Goes out wide. Hawthorn, Christou, terrific across half-back. Plays on quickly, goes back in the Spalding direction, and Spalding takes a very good mark. Plays on out wide to Camperelli. Getting caught on the left foot a lot, getting a lot of kicks. Kernahan recovers better than Holland. Picks it up cleverly on the left foot. Kicks back to the front of the goals. Fists up. Bradley loose. Left foot. No. Touch. Just missed, I think, too. So Barry Mitchell on his left foot. 15-5 Carlton. 3-2 Hawthorn.
What a start. Still 8 minutes remaining before half-time. McGuinness straight down the centre.
Beautiful kick.
And a good mark by Holland.
He's a big improver. He's the most improved player in the AFL, this fellow.
Goes to half-forward. Well, Christou's just too tall, too good for Gibson at the moment. He's picking him off and then picking Hawthorn off with accurate kicks to O'Sullivan, to Mitchell. Can he take his man on? He does, gets around Collins. Under pressure though, Holland went to ground. Koutafidis, good hands. Ratton. Well, you'd back him, wouldn't you? After everything we've seen today, but he just pushes it. There's a wonderful build-up again. Ratton kicked a goal very early in the piece, the second goal of the match. It's been a few since then. 15-6 to 3-2.
Short, Cooper in the back pocket. Has McGuinness on out wide, and the ball is to wait for that ball. Holland again for another mark for the day. This one's a bit easy. In the last one, he took his 3rd mark. That awkward kicking style actually goes the handball to Young. Young, quite a clever young player too. Unfortunately, this is the target. Koutafidis just doesn't wait and goes off. Goes in short to Ratton. Ratton on his left foot. Game starting to get a bit cute to Hannah. Hannah in all sorts of bother here, throws the ball somehow forward. Jarman with a clever handball to Harford. Harford moves over to Graham. Graham on his left foot goes in the Crochet direction and finds that player. But Crochet, who kicked from roughly 50 metres out, Dunstall's indicating that he really should have a shot for goal. And he does just that as the ball floats back, and here's a goal. Great call from Dunstall, great kick, Crochet.
Well, actually, I thought that Dunstall was wanting the lead out into the pocket. There was no one there in the goal square when Crochet let it go. But that's the way Hawthorn are going. There's a lot of indecision. Another change being made. Crochet looking for the short one. And Gibson's coming off as Jenke comes on. And there is the ball just getting over the line as Silvani was knocked by Dunstall.
(15-6-4-2) at Princes Park. 70 points the margin after Hawthorn get the goal. Mitchell looks for a free. Beaumont in his first game to Christo having a superb second term. Spalding having a great match. He's going to give off the handball. Kernahan running back on the pocket. Spalding will nearly kick this from what we've seen so far today. Might be a metre or two too far out. It's going to go short. Kernahan underneath it. Holds his ground. Well played, Holland. It's a better matchup at the moment for Hawthorn. Holland under Kernahan. And it'll be a ball up.
Jenke playing across half forward. Wouldn't have played too much football across that half forward line for Hawthorn. Crochet in the pocket.
Taylor goes with Spalding. Koutafidis. Little give to Beaumont. Ducks his head. Back in the Mitchell direction. O'Sullivan crashes through. Gets a free. High tackle. Now he is a long kick on the run, O'Sullivan. His trademark is to burst away and kick a long ball for goal. They'll have another start. He's looking for a lead. Not sure what to do.
There's going to be a time in it.
Now, Vincent Connell just being told to keep right away.
Christo giving the lead.
Oh, come on, Luke.
Oh, what a kick.
To the goal square, Kernahan through his fingers. Mitchell was going to go on the right leg, decided against it. Maybe the little one along the ground would have been the go for Mitchell there.
Bruce, I've never seen anyone hang on to the ball for that long. That is unbelievable. I mean, that just can't be any good for the game doing that.
Certainly slowed things up a bit, didn't he? 15-6-4-2. Ratton throws it away. Hannah. Good kick by Hannah, actually, to get it back into the field of play. Holland and Pritchard. Pritchard very happy to see it.
It's not a case of he wanted to hold it up. All his options were covered down the ground. He was going on a couple of occasions.
Yeah, sure, but I mean, I've seen that decision reversed by an umpire for time wasting.
Beaumont through his fingers. Collins. Here's O'Sullivan. Didn't go far. Cooper's quick kick from centre half back to centre wing. McKay attacks it hard. Went without it that time. Well played by Half. Done a couple of things. Stevenson. Jenke wants Stevenson again. It sits. Christo gives a free kick away. Been Hawthorn's best forward, you'd say, Stevenson. You could be a little cynical and say he's their only one, but he's looked pretty good, Stevenson, so far.
There's no movement on their forward line, Bruce.
And that's a nothing sort of kick. Now, Minton Connell in slow motion. Poor handball. Dean away from centre half back.
Ball floats towards the centre of the ground. Pritchard first to recover. Really should set something up here and goes out wide to Collins. Collins chips the ball forward to Simon Minton Connell. And the glove one, 73 games now, will go back and take his right glove off. Put it on the ground, don't put it in his pants, Don.
I like Gary Ablett.
Yes, so Minton Connell has had a very, very checkered career at Hawthorn this year. He's kicked a lot of goals. It's happened in tandem.
Incidentally started his career here at Carlton.
So from 50 metres, here's a long kick though. but points do come, and Crawshay takes a one-hander over the line. That will be a point if the goal umpire's right on the job, and he is. So Simon Minton-Connell first score at 1 point, and Stephen Silvani ready to bring the ball back in for Carlton. Goes in short to Christo. Does well, Stevenson, but has played the kick over the shoulder high. Didn't look like it from here, but nevertheless, Christo with the footy. Goes out wide in the Mackay direction, just switches play, and what a brilliant kick. Mitchell's on up the wing. Carlton have really got this set play working from kickoffs terrifically as Mitchell breaks away.
With a bounce. Then neatly towards Kernahan. Langford back with him by the look of it. Jarman. Good skills that time to Young. I say that time, it's all the time when he gets hold of it. Young, nice kick to Crawshay. Better build up by Hawthorn. Minton-Connell all alone. Kicks it back there. Christo gets back. Nice mark, Minton-Connell. Had the drop on Christo all the way that time. And really should kick a goal from here. It was a good build up. And he's only about 45 metres out.
I just had a horrible thought about something that happened here a few years ago, Bruce. We led Hawthorn by nearly 10 goals at half-time and got beat. I wonder.
Well, I'll frame a book at half-time for you, and I'll give you quite generous odds, Malcolm. I'll be very happy to accommodate. Just missing. A couple of points to Minton-Connell.
He's been a point kicker in his career, hasn't he?
4-4, 15-6. He won the leading goal kicker at Sydney 3 years in a row, around the 50-60 mark.
And Silvani brings it back in again for Carlton. Straight down the centre. Oh, big fly by Kurtafidis. Jarman with a quick kick forward. Great contest there. Christo knocks the ball forward. Packing Hawthorn players. No one seems to want the footy. Madden terrifically on to Sullivan. And Sullivan breaks through. Kicks long on that left foot. One-on-one Kernahan. You'd nearly back him here. Keeps the ball to his side. Man of the day, Hannah, hooks the ball back. Holland, Kernahan, almost Kernahan. Follows up brilliantly. Gives the ball off to Mitchell. Mitchell's having a purple day. Sets up Sullivan. And Sullivan misses to the left. But will be given a free kick. Yeah.
A bit late by Langford. It's an ugly part of the game when Kernahan and Langford were both contesting the mark, both holding on to one another earlier. And there's Langford. An act of frustration, but you've got to do something, don't you?
Yes, Luke O'Sullivan. 27, age 27. He's been lively around the footy. One of the few Carlton players that hasn't kicked a goal yet or has a shot. So Luke O'Sullivan on his left foot. 32 metres out he'll kick from. As Tony Lynn comes on to replace Whitehead. Sullivan kicks and kicks truly. 16 goals to Carlton. The rot continues for Hawthorn.
9 goal kickers, Carlton. And leading that is Kernahan with 4. Also, Hannah has 4. He kicked 3 in the first quarter, Hannah. As we see Langford cleaning up Sullivan. Brad Pearce is 2, and then there's singles to Ratton, Mitchell, Spalding, O'Sullivan, Dean, and also Kurtafidis.
16 goals, 6-4-4.
Symmetry now in the ruck, Bruce, too.
Sorry, Don. Jenke in the centre. Now to Dunstall on the lead. Can he get into the picture? Got his hands on it, Dunstall. Lynn on the ground. Dunstall's tackle over the top. Silvani, well done. Dean, strong tackle by Tallis. Dunstall played it pretty well. Mackay, little give. Oh, good play. O'Sullivan having a match and a half now. So's Christo. Madden. Jarman robbed him beautifully. Kick a goal, Darren. Go for it, son. Ah, beauty, that one. He is a very, very special player when he gets hold of the footy. That was really good to watch, Don.
Yes, well, the beauty about it was that he stripped Madden. Watch this. There, stripped him of the ball. Madden didn't know where it went, then sells the dummy. I don't know how much for, but went on and kicked his first. He was probably BOG last week in the first half, Jarman.
Yes, 11 touches to Darren Jarman. Hasn't been dominant, but has been one player who continues to try and get hold of the footy. Holland's been everywhere, into the ruck, does it very well indeed. Comes back to Woods, stumbles, pops, cops, and there's half-time. Carlton 16-6, Hawthorn 5-4 in what has been an extraordinary half of footy.
Second half starting at Princes Park. The Blues by 68 points. They led by 43 at quarter time. Kernahan with 4 goals and Hannah 4 in the opening half. Madden as he started the game. Spalding. Well, goes on with it, Earl. And then sprays it. Hannah could have been on the end of one. A handball, so a behind to Spalding, 16-7 to 5-4. Spalding's figures are good. 8 kicks, 3 handballs, 5 marks. Kicked a goal in the first half. Langford had a short spell at centre half back after Kernahan kicked 3 goals in 3 minutes on him in the second term. Mitchell to tackle too high against Jarman. Mitchell started the match with a goal and then sat back and watched an avalanche for his team. Had a pretty good first half, Mitchell, particularly in the opening term. Goes to the pocket. Kernahan and Pearce, take your pick.
He's too quick, this man. He started with McGuinness. I watched how they were matching up. McGuinness was with him. When he got the break, he's just too fast. Pearce.
He's becoming a good alternative, isn't he, Pearce, up forward? Mid-sized player with Kernahan the tall. And with such pace, already kicked 2 goals, Pearce. And sprayed that. Just a little push for a behind. So 2-2 to Pearce, 16 goals, 8 to 5 goals, 4. Back to 70 points, the margin. Langford to bring him back in.
He's been fairly well undecided. Now plays to himself, which is probably a great move. Gets those few extra metres in the Taylor direction. Can't hang on to it. The ball falls to the ground. Stevenson pushes it forward. Jarman covered. Onto McGuinness. Great smother from Mitchell. Great little left hand. And he really has set it up again to Pearce. He has to wait for the ball. Did pretty well by keeping over the top of it. To Sullivan. Bit of a scrappy piece of play here as it comes out to Taylor. He's caught also. Runs into trouble as Collins. The tackling is fierce at the moment. And out we come through Whitehead. Quickly to Spalding. Spalding again breaks clear. Kicks to the front of the goal square. Hannah back and he's got it.
He's a hard man to match up today, Hannah. He's just too strong on that occasion for Matthew Young. He's either too fast, too strong for his opponents today.
Bill Hannah, 4 goals. Started the Blues alight with 3 in that first quarter. And now after half-time, really should kick his 5th goal. And he does. 17 goals to Carlton.
Well, he started with Ray Jenke, then Mark Graham was moved on to him, and now Young's got the job. But he's a real problem today, Neil Hannah. Playing half-forward flank, he's got out by himself. Look at the Carlton players around the ball here. Hawthorn players conspicuous by their absence. Spalding just puts it on his boot, putting it up, hoping. It's Hannah, front position.
Remarkable scoreline, isn't it? 17-8 to 5-4. McKay streams forward. Beaumont. Making his debut. Well, the other side of the coin, Daniel Harford debuting for Hawthorn. First kick in league footy. We saw Roberts. Mark Roberts kicked 2 goals in his first 2 kicks on Friday night, and Beaumont's got his first.
It's great to see the enthusiasm of those Carlton players go across to the youngster. He played 1994 in the reserves. Obviously very popular. Tall half forward from Central Dragons in the under-18 competition here in Melbourne. His 18th pick in the 1993 draft.
Said Mark Roberts, Mark Stevens for North Melbourne. 2 for 2 Friday night. Simon Beaumont, 1 for 1 today.
Yes, and fantastic work then from Mackay coming through the middle of the ground to set up the youngster. Just some terrific work from these Carlton side. Almost a waste to see Holland in there, isn't it? He's been terrific at the back end. Bradley does very well indeed. Tries to set up Pearce. Unfortunately can't get it clear. This time he can to Camporelli. Camporelli back to Ratton. Ratton from a standing start. Hannah punched the ball. Ball is punched away from him. Running onto it now is Jenke. Gives it off to Jarman. Jarman just cool in a crisis as ever. Then's forced to kick long along the wing. Over the head of most players. The ball fills back again to Ratton. Ratton sets up Camporelli out wide. Looks inside. Misses Mitchell. Really probably should have found him. Woods out wide to Holland. And the Hawks should really be away from here. Kicks beautifully towards Mark Graham. Christo does well from behind. Mackay again with a terrific dash and kicks the ball back to centre half forward. Kernahan first there. Underneath his legs. Bradley gives it away. Back to Langford. Langford out wide to Woods. Woods with one bounce. Kicks it back towards centre half forward. From behind Mitten-Connell. And takes a well-judged mark.
Kick from 50. Bradley struggling today, yet the team travelling so well around him. Had a tremendous start to the year. Now Mitten-Connell had 2 shots for goal in the second term for a couple of points.
Fancies himself, Bruce.
A kick from just outside 50. Dean standing at about 48. High ball. Not going to make it, but Holland's back there to take the mark.
He's a good young bloke, this.
He's Don. I'm just thinking, you know, he started off at centre half back and did very well. He moved onto Kernahan and did very well. And now they've had to use him in ruck. I mean,
the beauty about him, Malcolm, is he's coachable. Like, he really put in a big pre-season this year. He's just a gun, you know. He just goes very, very coachable.
Let's hope he kicks a goal from the pocket. He's got it. So Holland gets his first goal. And if he's not Hawthorn's best player, he's so close that it doesn't matter today.
Well, he was a teal cupper, Bruce, at South Australia as a youngster. And it looks like, and I hope he does get a go for South Australia in the State of Origin series this year. It'll be a terrific reward for him.
just looks as though he's got an appetite for the game, Don, doesn't he?
You know, as I said earlier, he's just so coachable. He listens, he wants to learn.
Okay, so back in the middle. And there he is in the centre of the ground. Thumps the ball forward to Christo, onto his right foot, kicks it out very wide. Mitchell in the race with Harford. Bit of experience there from Mitchell, got rid of the young fella in Harford. Unfortunately, counts the ball away to Mitten-Connell. Mitten-Connell with a very scruffy kick. Jason Dunstall hasn't had a lot of opportunities today. Sets up Tallis, doesn't know which way to go. Gives it back to Jarman. Sells the dummy court, the pressure's terrific. Kicks the ball backwards. And Pritchard, 55 metres from goal, now is forced to kick long to the front of the square. Once again, big pack of players there. Holland from behind does the pushing. Kuda Fudi, sensational burst through. Gives it off to Mitchell. Mitchell through the centre of the ground and kicks out in the Beaumont direction.
Beaumont had a grab. Cooper with him. Still Cooper paddling it away in front. Beaumont's pressure all right. Handball by Stevenson. Back to Jenke. Jenke comes inside. Graham has to be quick. Ratton back onto it. Mackay, what a player. Christo, Mackay again. It's really pulsating stuff, this from Carlton. Kernahan versus Langford. Langford gets it away this time. Probably the first time he's beaten Kernahan in that situation today. Holland at centre wing. Where's Dunstall going? Holland kicks in his direction, not a bad kick. Dunstall sets himself. Front place, Dean did very well. Ball sprays out. Back onto it, Whitehead. Not much pressure from Hawthorn. Mitchell's hands. McKay can normally break those tackles. Christou sits and waits. He has had a ton of kicks today. 13 of them. That one a long bomb. Langford out in front of Kernahan. Went the handball. Decided against it. Back to Cooper. Cooper now around the body to centre wing. Spalding and Pritchard. Spalding in the front spot. Taylor. Holland. O'Sullivan. The Rhino. A bounce. Goes for it now. Gives it everything and kicks it. Oh, wouldn't you love to measure the adrenaline pumping through those veins right now?
Well, he had a lot of time, didn't he, O'Sullivan? And he saw he was on his right foot. He had enough time to come back onto his left. And here it is. There he is getting away. Again, a 3-on-1 situation. He is a thumping kick on the run and finishes so well. His second.
So Carlton keep at it and at it. From the centre of the ground, bounce favours Madden. Oh, fantastic touchdown to Mitchell. Mitchell kicks forward. Under pressure as he's been most of the day as McGuinness. And the ball socket off the ground for a young. For a rush point to Carlton. Their ninth. So it's 19-9 to 6-4. The rot continues for Hawthorn. Good young player though, Young. I've seen him a couple of times. He really improved. Langford, as he's done so many times today, has to wait to kick the ball in. Now goes. Kai has been sensational this quarter. Just forces the ball forward with sheer brute force. Jenke stands and delivers out to Collins. Collins uses the run of Jason Taylor. Taylor onto his left foot, looks inside, tries to set up Minton Connell. Christou's just terrific. The back line's been great. Whoops, trouble here for Madden. It ends out with kick a goal, son. 2 goals to Nick Holland. No! It's at the post.
Well, what he's doing now, Holland, is really putting the pressure on Madden. Madden just cannot run with him.
Silvani short to Christou. They're mounting his stats today. 13, 7 and 5. Christou out towards Dean. Minton Connell there. Mitchell having a terrific match. His best for the season. Whitehead wide to Pearce. Will run it down, you know that for sure. Kernahan wants it long. He kicks it there. Great kick. Wonderful kick, wasn't it?
He's not a bad young player. He is very quick for a big man.
Well, Kernahan's call was good, Don, and Pearce had the power in the leg to put it in the right spot. Kernahan short to Ratton. So Ratton with a goal. The second of the match after 2.5 minutes. Now going for the 20th. Another one.
Well, it's quite interesting behind play that Pearce ran all the way back to the centre of the ground to congratulate Whitehead on delivering the ball in the way he did to him. Kernahan had taken the mark in the meantime and got it across to Ratton. Brett Ratton, his second goal.
This has been a very good player playing on Jarman. And Jarman has had some touches now playing on Bradley, but it's been pretty irrepressible from these blokes in the middle of the ground. Tried to grab hold of it was Holland. Off the ground to Koutafidis. Koutafidis has been terrific today too. Kicks long. Kernahan covers it. Falls in the Hannah direction. Can it be goal number 6 from a half-forward flanker? No, he's just caught and then wastes the kick almost. It really broken the tackle, and Mill Hannah pretty disappointed with his effort. It really would have been something special. Half-forward flanker kicking 6 has been a long time. It doesn't happen very often. Pack of players around this footy. Mitchell, as he's seemed to do all day, just throws it onto his boot, and the ball is out of bounds on the full or a mark. Touched. Now there's an interesting call. I thought it was a clean grab. You would think it had to be one or the other, unless it was touch off Mitchell's boot, but there didn't appear to be anyone else around him, and I thought it was a good clean grab, so it's either one or the other. I think a wrong call by the boundary umpire. That is a clean grab. That is a shot at goal, and that is a miss from El Spalding. So their 10th point, Carlton, after kicking 8 or 9 from memory, Bruce, I think early, so it's been about 50-50 since then.
Yeah, 9 straight the Blues were. So they've kicked 11 goals, 10 since then. So what a day for them, a real day out. Langford low down the centre. Good kick actually. Gets to Harford. Neat kick to Collins. Holland running for him outside. Then does the right thing to just cut Beaumont off. Dunstall the lead. Silvani with him. He's had the best of the duel. Stevenson. Still, we should have given it away earlier. Probably to Collins actually. Camporelli to Beaumont. Beaumont neatly to Pearce. Tries the half volley. Out of play. Right in front of us in the 7 commentary box.
It's amazing what blokes do when they change jumpers. Brad Pearce at the Bears. Well, he's just a different player, isn't he? Just amazing what happens.
Really making his mark in 95 in a blue Guernsey. Spalding being held up. 20 goals, 10 to 6-5 the score at Princes Park.
There's another one down there, Tony Lynn too, who went from Bears to Centrals and now here, and really did well last year.
Spalding, well done to Hannah. Hannah wide, Sexton, Crawshay have come a long way down, bouncing ball, still with Sexton, well done to Kernahan. High one round the body, Koutafidis. Bouncing ball, Hannah taps it back. O'Sullivan can't get clear, holding the footy. Good tackle. They really put the pressure on him. Andy Collins, not much joy for Hawthorn today. That a little one to Young.
Kick just wobbles off the end of the boot. Really does put some pressure on this Hawthorn defence. Beautifully out to Woods. Woods onto his left foot. Graham underneath it. Christo recovers from the slip over. What a pick-up. What a game he's playing. And Sexton, once again, cross half-back, doing very, very well. Looks at options up forward. Goes in the Mitchell direction. Harford does terrific from behind. Recovers well. Kicks the ball along the ground. Forced forward. Picked up here by Stevenson. Quick left foot kick goes nowhere. Whitehead usually finishes off very well indeed. This time goes long, over the head of the pack. You would almost think that Hannah had a chance then, sort of been his day. Tapped out to McGuinness. McGuinness quickly over the top to Pritchard, and Pritchard releasing pressure for the Hawthorn side. Finishes off beautifully to Holland.
Runs away from centre wing with a bounce. Then kicks the ball to centre half forward. Minton Connell. Dean at the back. Collins tried to trap it. Tallis onto it. As Minton Connell short with the handball. Misses the body, it should sit, it does. Minton Connell in the pocket, kicks it across the face of goal and out of bounds on the full. So not a good result there from Simon Minton Connell. So 4 shots for goal without a major to date. Sexton to bring her back in. Oh, Ratton set up a bit here. Chance now for the Hawks. Stevenson, Crawshay bent down. Lots of Carlton players. McKay straight to the boundary line, out of play.
Yes, they have been terrific, that back line for Carlton. Those short kicks just occasionally don't catch you out, but it's modern footy, isn't it, at its best? Trying to open it up.
Post position football. And something does come out of it a lot of times too.
Madden picks the ball up, gives it away, goes to Stevenson. Stevenson has a shot, and I think has kicked his 3rd from a very acute angle. Well done, son. 7th goal to Hawthorn. They trail dismally, 20-10 to 7-5.
Well, his 3rd. Managed to boo late in last year, Stevenson, and really has gone on since then. He formerly with Fitzroy, and he has taken the chance of a second opportunity with both hands, and has done well today.
(7-5) now the Hawks. Stevenson's 3rd goal. 20 goals, 10 Carlton. Madden. O'Sullivan. Beaumont the target. Oh, nice take. He's paid it.
Madden coming off and Lynn coming on for Carlton.
He's got good skills, Beaumont. Kicked a goal with his first kick in footy. And that one has hit the post. So the margin now, 14 goals again. 20 goals 11 to 7 goals 5.
Yes, interesting player. Picked up 18th pick in the '93 draft. So he's had his apprenticeship in the seconds last year. So it's a bit unusual for a lot of players to get that many games these days. Langford in from behind, kicks it back to half forward. Stevenson to Collins, short one over to Woods. Woods runs onto it, bounces once, then handballs back inside to Taylor, to McInnes, kicks the ball long, really doesn't give Dunstall any chance at all. Very ordinary kick. Simon Minton kind of off the ground. He's missed a lot, but that one's okay.
Adding some respectability to the scoreboard. That's his first. He kicked 2 points last week, Simon Minton-Connell. He was good early in that game against the Crows. And here he is breaking through, getting away from Dean, and quickly off the ground. Hawthorn's 8th, his first.
3 to 4 this quarter, Bruce.
Yes, the Hawks 3 goals 1 to 4 goals 5 by Carlton in this term. Really the only competitive quarter to date. 131 to 53. Still 13 goals the difference here. O'Sullivan off the ground. McInnes attacked it pretty well. Mitchell. Still Mitchell. Neat. Goes to Ratton. Ratton to Christou. Goes long. Kernahan sets himself with Langford. Langford at the back. Beaumont with a chance. Back to Kernahan. Left foot. Not going to make it. And just out with Young running it through. So throw in the left forward pocket for the Blues. 4 goals for Kernahan. 3 of them in a 3-minute spell in the second quarter. Spalding, Taylor, here's Jarman. Kicked a wonderful goal.
Tallis.
Nice mark at half-back. Had a bit of the footy. Vincent Connell the target. With him Dean. There's Lynn to Whitehead. To Bradley. Quiet day for him. Caught. Handball. Oh, gee, that was quick.
Red hot.
Holding the footy, the umpire says. So Stevenson to get it.
Yes, looks out wide. Delivers the ball beautifully to Taylor. Taylor to the run of McInnes. McInnes on his left foot. Goes in towards Dunstall. Great mark, Dunstall.
Does that well, McInnes running up off that back line, Malcolm.
Yes, Jason Dunstall hasn't had too many of those kicks given to him today. Although Silvani, I think, has been very good on the ground when it has been competitive. And there's a super mark. And Dunstall just the 1 goal so far today. Got it in the second quarter. And the Hawthorn champion. Kicks and has kicked truly. No noise down that end would suggest a goal. And it is. 20 goals, 11 Carlton. Hawthorn matching in this quarter goal for goal. 9 goals, 5.
Good run by McInnes. And he does deliver the ball so well, McInnes. Dunstall very strong.
Been the best period in the match so far for Hawthorn. 9-5 to 20 goals 11. Jarman out of the centre. They go forward again, the Hawks. Dunstall attacking it hard. Minton Connell. It was a hard handball to try and control. And Silvani and Dean copping one on the head accidentally. A tough nut Dean. Really enjoyed that goal he kicked today. There's Silvani, as you can see, running into him. Christou, been outstanding in a team of outstanding players. Camporelli, Cooper, well done to Holland, to Young. Hawthorn getting some confidence slightly. Woods attacks, Dunstall, Silvani, what a play, what an athlete. Had it robbed though by Crawshay, but wins it back, then misses Koutafidis, over the top, Camporelli runs away, check sides it, bouncing ball, gets almost to the 50, tough ball now, Cooper, crunched by Sporting. It's very awkward, that whole situation, with the ball bouncing like it was. Cooper underneath it, goes in short, Graham's got to take on Kernahan, under pressure, Langford gets hold of it now. Oh, Langford not well done. Finally gets it out. Graham back to Young and down the ground against Kernahan. Umpire having a chat to him. Collins has got it at centre wing to full forward. Dunstall had a lot of it, not paid. Dean to Mackay.
Mackay breaks away, goes towards the boundary line. The ball racing over, just relieve the pressure as the intensity of the game just lifts. So you watch this in replay. Just a good hip and shoulder arm in nice there, Don.
Yeah, it's nothing in that at all.
Oh, good. Koutafidis in ruck, placing Madden. Interesting move. Ratton to Mitchell. Sets up Camporelli on the run again, and he uses that pace. He is breaking lines today. Just doesn't finish off right, but it falls in the hands of Milham Hanna. Hanna on to Bradley. Bradley just loves these situations. Sets up his mate from Adelaide in Stephen Kernahan and finishes off beautifully. One of the great mates from South Australia. Been great players in State of Origin footy too. Coming up shortly, Bruce.
Yeah, looking forward to it, Malcolm.
And you'd think these two guys would play for South Australia. They have been the backbone of the team for a long time now. Stephen Kernahan, 4 goals and a welcome return. 3 weeks off with a shoulder injury. He really is the captain inspiration. Been rated by many at Carlton to be, if not the equal, is better than John Nichols. What a great player. Unfortunately, with that build-up, obviously, he was going to miss.
Didn't give him a chance, Blighty, did you? Had no hope. 2012 to 9-5. Nine times the leading goal kicker at the club in 9 seasons. Kernahan. He's had a lot of great duels with Langford. Big match duels over the years, particularly in the middle-late 80s. Mackay, Collins, quick kick. Mackay at the back. Well done though by Harford. Then Stevenson. Lynn going for it. Christou, clever. Mackay, courageous. Mitchell, enterprisingly to Spalding. To Lynn at full pace. To the goal square, bouncing ball. And behind. 2013, 9-5. So in this term, 4 goals, 7 the Blues, 4 goals, 1 to Hawthorn. Collins gives it off to Young.
Young goes along the boundary line, getting close to the line. And the siren goes to end this 3rd quarter. What was a much more even third quarter. But Carlton still terrific. 20 goals, 13. Lead Hawthorn 9-5. Milham Hanna's got 5 and Kernahan 4, the majors for Carlton, and Stevenson 3, Dunstall 2 for Hawthorn. Sensational 3rd quarter.
Carlton by 74 points at 3/4 time. They led by 68 at half-time, 43 at quarter time. It's been a spectacular display by the Blues. The Hawks, a little bit of respectability, if you can call it that, in the 3rd quarter. Koutafidis starts his final term. O'Sullivan with a free kick. Pritchard's little toe poke, no 50. O'Sullivan good. Couple of goals. And the Blues start positively. Bradley's been one of the few Blue players who's been down. Small stats for him. bit indecisive, chips away to Spalding. He's had a good game, Earl. On the left this time, straight to Mitchell. Holes everywhere. We're talking about Mitchell at three-quarter time and saying that this is his best performance for this year. Such a fine player over a number of seasons in Sydney. A best and fairest winner there. Didn't fit in at Collingwood, couldn't make it. All right when he's been at Carlton, but has struggled this season to hold his place. Playing his 7th game out of 10 for the year today, and he's kicked a goal. His 2nd. He got the 1st of the match, so 20 goals later he gets his 2nd.
Well, certainly in the last 2 weeks got plenty of the ball. Last week against St Kilda, on a losing side, 16 kicks, 12 handballs. It's not a bad effort, but really Barry is just not quite quick enough to play as a true rover. He's got tremendous endurance, and what he did in Sydney was stay on the ball all day, where he's just used his endurance. Now he's doing that again today, and he's been a very good player.
So it's back in the centre, and this onslaught from Carlton continues. Madden had a rest late in the 3rd quarter. Back against Holland, an unlikely ruckman for the Hawks. Down to Jarman, quick kick forward. Cleverly tapped on by Stevenson. First to recover is Mitton Connell. Easily pushed off the ball. Ends up with Dean. Dean kicks forward, Barry Mitchell marks. Plays on quickly, gives it to Whitehead. The half-back line has really broken this game up most of the day. Bradley out wide, back to Camporelli. Camporelli back to Whitehead. Inside again, the handball's going to fall down here. Sullivan picks it up. Camporelli with 3rd touches in many minutes. Mitchell ends up with Mitchell.
Let's go the first on the half-back flank.
It's amazing, isn't it, when those days that it all seems to happen for you. They really did lose it almost 3 or 4 times then, but just somehow or other managed to hang on to it. Pretty cool in that kick to find Mitchell by himself. And Barry Mitchell, 2 goals. Can he get his 2nd in as many minutes and his 3rd for the day? Pretty impressive stats, 27 possessions. Not the longest kicker of the footy in the competition, but he's pretty committed to having a go at it. Kicks just falling, just offline, looking for extra distance. So Carlton 21-14. 35 scoring shots to Hawthorn 9-5.
Langford. Tallis. 8 kicks for Tallis. Started all right. Graham out wide. Holland. Centre wing. Collins and Spalding. David and Goliath there. And now out of play with Christou and Taylor. Christou just limping away for the moment. It's been a big kick getter, 17, along with Mill Hannah. Been a real rebounder off half-back. Jarman robs Madden for the 2nd time today. This one with not quite the same spectacular ending. He kicked a really special goal in the 2nd quarter, Jarman. 10 kicks and 6 handballs. Not bad, but hasn't really had an influence. Mitchell again to Ratton. Inside, Bradley running onto it. Sits for him now. Bradley normally kicks well. Kernahan on the end of it. Superb kick, wasn't it, by Bradley? Into the space for Kernahan. He's taken 10 marks today. Improves the angle. Misses. Had quite a few shots for goal. Kernahan has kicked 4, and with 10 marks you'd think he'd probably finish up with 7 or 8 goals, but he'll be happy with his day's work first week back.
Yeah, it's been very important, particularly early. Beginners, the long kick down to the centre of the ground. Mackay just so disciplined that they're punching the Carlton half-back line. Running onto it very cleverly as Collins sets up half, and the youngster looks. There's a set play here to Dunstall. Dunstall almost grabs hold of it. The wobbly kick. Stevenson spins beautifully. Shoots for his 4th goal. It goes high, wide and handsome. Unfortunately for the youngster, out on the full. Sexton quickly back into play. Bradley in front, punches the ball forward. Knocked on again by Dean. A third whack in the air from Woods. The ball falls out to Taylor. Taylor with a quick kick. Christo pretty cool as he's been all day. Crowd get behind that long kick of his. And Hannah, who's actually quieted down a bit since the first half, but has been a pretty good player for Carlton. Kicks long. Langford drops it, falls back. Onto the ball comes McGuinness and kicks out wide to the boundary line and out of bounds. So 50-odd metres around from the Carlton goal. Not in front of the Carlton Social Club here. As the sun, a beautiful sunny day here in Melbourne, cool conditions. As the sun starts to set behind the Social Club and the George Harris stand. Through Holland's hands at the boundary throw-in, and the umpire says, I will have a bounce. Carlton players here, Luke O'Sullivan and Brett Ratton, congratulating each other on some good tackling like it has been for most of the day for Carlton. Koutafidis grabs it out of the air, gives it off to Ratton. Ratton with a quick kick forward, and Cooper comes across in front of Kernahan, takes a pretty strong mark.
Plays on, goes wide, Crochet, good stretch, comes back inside, Pritchard to Cooper. Cooper's little one, looking for Taylor. Right in the centre. Christo doubled up there. Taylor to centre half forwards. Spalding's there, one hand. McKay, oh, misses Madden that time. Chance for Collins, breaks through cleverly. Stevenson for his fourth goal. Hit the post from 20 metres out on the run.
Better, Bruce. The way that Collins attacked that ball was good to see. That's reminiscent of Collins when he was a young player. And Stevenson should have finished it off a little bit better.
Silvani short. Bradley now starting to accumulate a few touches. Now runs away. Kicks it so well, doesn't he? Mitchell again. 15 and 14. Make that 16 and 14. Back to Bradley. His stats are going to look better now.
It's the old last quarter effort, just make sure you get some touches. Oh, he's worked pretty hard, really, back out to Mitchell, so they are counting up their stats here. He goes short again to Mackay. And Mackay, so really they haven't gained anywhere, but they're certainly out of trouble now. Centre wing, commentary side. He also goes short onto Mitchell. Mitchell short again. Dean. There's another one here. No. He decides to go long in the Kernahan direction. Oh, pushed out, surely. Oh, Graham floats across. It's called play on. The whole of the Carlton stand is absolutely in uproar, and Collins is sent away with that excellent kick from Graham. Kicks in towards Dunstall, the ordinary kick again. It's happened most of the day. Silvani falls over in his attempts to clear the footy. Goes to Taylor. Taylor back to Jarman. Quick kick around his body. The ball heads towards the boundary line. Out of bounds, forward pocket. Scoreboard in with the Blues 81 points in advance of Hawthorn.
Silvani kept Dunstall to a couple. They haven't had many memorable one-on-ones today. Dean over the top and happy to gain 4 or 5 metres. It's Jarman and Mitchell and Stevenson. Whitehead about 25 metres from the Hawthorn goal. I'd love to finish this quarter off outscoring the Blues. Mitchell. Pearce caught underneath. Collins thumps it away out of play. Pearce very good. Stats not as high as some of the others, but he's been effective.
I can't believe this, Bruce. They've had nearly 80-odd more possessions at the stage of the game. It's incredible.
Well, they set it up early, didn't they? Taylor back towards Dunstall. Silvani in the front spot. Jarman, little one off the ground. Whitehead running back. Dean will be happy to get it through from behind. 9 goals, 7 to 21 goals, 15.
Silvani looks at options to come back in. Kicks it long to Mackay. Beautifully set up by Carlton. Big gap at the back of the Hawthorn setup. He in turn goes wide in the Caristo direction. Oh, terrific mark, son. That is a beautiful mark under enormous pressure from Cooper. And he really has played some sort of game. It's Angelo Cristo.
Caporelli coming off. Tony Lynn coming on for Carlton. No injury there.
Good kid. It's amazing, isn't it? First game, as he looks as though he's been playing forever, does young Beaumont. Sets it up. Ball punched away terrifically from... Given off now. Luke O'Sullivan on the left foot. Kicks long, but misses to the left. And out of bounds on the full.
And Kernahan and Hannah in the centre asking for the ball to be centred. Not believing that Hannah tried hard enough to drag that back in to open up the goal face.
But Chris Langford made a good comeback. Kernahan really annihilated him early, but he has come back and been very competitive since then. Ball falls to ground. Is that a throw on the ground? Beaumont does well. Collins around wide. The ball heads towards the boundary line. Running onto it's Nick Collins, probably Hawthorn's best player. Now on the ball and in ruck. Kicks the ball back. Silvani in front. Dunstall from behind. Will he pay it? Oh.
It's interesting who got hands to it first.
Generally they do pay those though, don't they, Don? But I'm almost sure that Silvani actually didn't touch that first.
No doubt we've got the benefit of the replay, but it did look as if Silvani touched it first, but...
So, Jason Dunstall, as Bruce mentioned before, hasn't had a lot of one-on-ones with Silvani, although Silvani has been very good. Lines up for his third goal and has kicked it. 10 goals to Hawthorn. 74 points the margin.
His third, Jason Dunstall. Just hasn't had the opportunities. Ball hasn't come down as often as he would like. And here again in replay, Silvani up first, Dunstall second grab, and the umpire paying it.
Three kicks for Dunstall, 3 goals. 21-15 to 10-7. Madden out of the centre. Hannah just tries to lay it off. Mitchell. Lots of touches all day, particularly in the last term. Madden. Lynn. Back to Madden. And gee, did that well, the big fella, except he did kick it out of bounds in the full.
Slow motion replay.
Still going. Between him and his brother, they've played a few games, haven't they? Lynn. Centering. Pearce probably the target here. Front spot Beaumont. Pritchard. Spalding takes it away. Koutafidis on the left. Kernahan in the front spot.
It's really the only place to be in front, because when the pressure is up the ground, the ball's always going to drop, especially in the last quarter. And he was there to take advantage. Koutafidis on the left foot, played in the ruck in the third quarter when Madden went off. Couldn't keep up with Holland, and Jenke coming off for Hawthorn, and Hudson about to come on.
5 for Kernahan.
And the majority of those goals, in actual fact 4, came in the first half. He kicked 3 in the second quarter, Kernahan. The pack here, Koutafidis, coming back on the second attempt. Flew initially. Just putting it down towards goal and in front, Kernahan.
Yes, 11 marks to Stephen Kernahan and 5 goals. What a fantastic return by the Carlton skipper. Madden, Holland. As you'd expect, Madden won it. Quick handball out to Cooper. Cooper and Holland takes a mark. 8 marks to Nick Holland. Been a pretty good try. Centre half forward. Simon Minton Connell direction and takes a chest mark in front of Peter Dean. And almost all too little too late for Simon Minton Connell, coming off the bench today. Had some shots at goal and just kicked the one so far, which was off the ground in the third quarter. With the gloves,
he took it off, and he took the right one off earlier in the game when kicking for goal, but he's elected to leave the both on this time.
So Nick Connell kicks, and it's a lovely looking kick, but just again, just offline. Now, I can remember watching many games with him at the Sydney Swans and just missing lots of them. He really has been inconsistent, and it wouldn't be for the want of trying, I would expect, that he hasn't been good. Christo has been out to Bradley. Terrific mark before Minton Connell can get there. Now, Bradley's usually pretty dangerous in this situation. He does look for opportunity. And look, if he's not under pressure, he doesn't like to give the footy away normally. Instructing teammates. Off he goes. Get out the way, because that's what he wants to do. He wants to run off the other side of the ground. This will be an absolute setup by the Carlton side now. Terrific kick to Sexton. Sexton looks inside again. Sullivan by himself. That's the way it'll go. Just a smart player is Craig Bradley. Over to Spalding. One hand. Yes, no, almost. Oh, why not? Give it to Whitehead anyhow. He breaks clear. Still going. No support from behind. Now the Hawthorn players can raffle it. And terrific pressure there from Spalding on Stevenson. And the ball's forced out of bounds. It's actually going to be a free kick given to Hawthorn here. Is there for a late charge on Stevenson, perhaps? Perhaps not.
No, I think it's... what's happening, Malcolm? I think it's 6. No, you might be right here.
Yes, he's played it down ground after that charge. So Andrew Collins with the footy. Half-back flank. Kicks in the Crawshay direction. It was a lovely weighted kick. And Holland from behind. He just keeps mounting them up, doesn't he? 9 marks.
Yes, he's averaging about 8, 9 marks a game, Nick. Changes direction.
Yeah, he does well too. Over to Cooper, and Cooper has a paddock in front of him.
Woodsy uses, gets it back, has Jarman very short, goes to Dunstall, nice kick, gets him.
Quick. He is exceptionally quick over the first couple, Dunstall. First couple of yards or metres.
This will be interesting, Don, because this is about his distance, isn't it? Kick from 50. Silvani's at about 46, 47.
They have actually kicked a bit longer this end, Bruce. It's just a waft of a breeze going to that end. So most of them have made it from that distance today.
Well, he's 100% today, Dunstall. 3 kicks so far, 3 goals. So he kicks on the 50. Good looking kick, hits the post. So bad luck there for Dunstall. He's trying to turn a very ordinary day into a reasonable one personally. Can't do much for the club. 22-15, 10-9. Christou gets it short from Dean. Back to Dean now. Then Dean short to Lynn. Bradley scouting wide. Now he'll get it. Having a terrific last quarter, Bradley. Runs his quota, then goes long. Hannah tries to set himself. Collins to come in from the back. Free kick going to Hannah.
Turn his ankle.
He's coming straight off Hannah. O'Sullivan chips to centre half forward. Madden on his chest. It's a good kick for goal, Madden. Now Hannah has gone off limping.
Yeah, it's bad luck for Hannah too. Crawshay off, Bone on. Bone going down to the forward pocket.
Camporelli on for Hannah. So that'll be the end of Mill for the day. 5 goals. Now Madden, who had a good goal-kicking year last year, he kicked 2 goals on 6 or 7 occasions last year.
This has been the tough end, though. Bruce, the ball just hasn't carried down this end.
Hasn't kicked a goal this season, Madden. Still hasn't. Pearce.
That was a good pass.
He's so he's so quick, Pearce. He was able to turn around and still get to it. What's he kicked? A couple today, Pearce.
Really good player up in that forward line. Hard player to combat. Pearce is so quick.
3 from the pocket's a pretty handy effort, isn't it? It's an average of 66 for the year, and no one does that.
He's got it. You'd love him in a grand final to kick 3 out of the pocket, wouldn't you?
Yes,
He's very handy.
Yes, you would indeed. Yeah, I think you called it pretty well there, Bruce. It was a great reaction, wasn't it, to the sloppy kick, really?
Yes, his reflexes and his pace able to, I guess his youth and athleticism combination, turn himself around and get there.
Well, let's hope this helps his confidence. He needs to be a little bit more consistent in his play, Pearce. He's had a good one today.
Yes, back in the centre. Madden, who the kick came from originally, will taps it forward beautifully to Lynn. Lynn quickly onto the right foot, kicks back. Sullivan contest, no. Tap down now with Sullivan on his right foot. goes for goal and has missed. So Luke O'Sullivan. So some of the work done around that centre square has been fantastic by Carlton today, hasn't it? They've just been forcing the ball forward lots of times.
Well, it's Madden who's been getting his hands to ball, and I mean, the Hawthorn really haven't manned up, and they just run into space, and Madden puts it there. He is the best palmer of the ball in the league, bar none, Martin.
So Cooper pretty clever along the boundary line. Good body work from Madden, keeps Holland off the ball. Lynn back to Whitehead. Whitehead to Mitchell. Mitchell for the first time today has almost fumbled the footy. Back to Stevenson on his left foot. Kicks it beautifully to Taylor. And Christo does well and knocks it out of bounds. So 50-odd metres from the Hawthorn goal. And Ange Christo, 21 kicks, 10 marks and 6 handballs. They're getting up towards vote-catching stats, and certainly the way he's played, it has been an eye-catching performance. Boundary line, Bone back on the ground. Really pushed off too easy. Must hold your ground more than that. Quick kick from Harford. Harford out wide, the ball bouncing towards the boundary line, and Christo helps Stevenson over the line for another throw in, 25-30 metres around from the Hawthorn goal. It's a big margin, and by Carlton, they really would like to finish off in this last quarter. Madden will get the free kick for being held onto, and we'll go back now. Usually shelves it out to a teammate. Does. To Lynn along the ground. Really not much value at all. It was pretty obvious that Madden was going to give the ball away, and Lynn was the first opportunity. So we've had 3 boundary throw-ins, and the ball's moved backwards and forwards in about a 25-metre area. And once again, Bone against Madden. This time Bone holds his ground almost, and the Carlton side, Ratton's been good at this, running on. So's Whitehead rather, kicks long. Camporelli pushes Gibson underneath the ball and then pushes the ball out of bounds. So Camporelli's had a fair day. The whole of the centre line has been terrific. Having a rest, and we placed Hannah with that looked like to be an ankle injury. So in front of the Carlton Social Club, last quarter, 4 odd minutes to go before Hawthorn can be put out of their misery. Holland terrific in tight, sets up Cooper. Cooper on the run with a wobbly torpedo, and Bradley fisted away by Jarman, kicks the ball to Dean. Dean has a panic in front of him. Christo can set it up, looks inside and picks out Mark Graham by himself.
50.
Mitchell coming back. Graham inside the centre circle now. Goes short. Whitehead gets a hand up, cuts it off. The fans are like that in the Social Club. Back into the centre. Oh, Wood sat, waited, made a bit of a mess of it. Goes off the ground. Kernahan gives away a free kick. So a bit of sloppy play here. Carlton has run its race and they've been much too good, and they're sitting on it. Hudson back on the ground. It's a day he'll want to forget, Paul Hudson, on the interchange for 3/4 of this match. Dunstall in the goal square. Hudson going long. Good kick right there. Minton Connell touched.
Oh, he jumped into the back. It should have been a free kick against him.
23-16 to 10-10, so 14 goals the margin, 84 points. Silvani looked too easy. Koutafidis, little chip. Dean. No, misses that time. Back to Koutafidis, plenty of Carlton players. O'Sullivan to Dean. Pearce in the pocket. Good work that time by Young. Spalding, well played Spalding. Handball back to Mitchell. Almost had his pants taken off. Short to Koutafidis.
They're playing with a lot of confidence, aren't they, Carlton? Doing just about the consummate backman. Made a mistake, followed up, got it down to the pocket. Presence of mind by Mitchell was terrific to spot Koutafidis.
It's been one of the medium players, hasn't he, today? He's done very well. Wouldn't call him one of Carlton's stars today, but he's had plenty of the footy. He's kicked 1 goal before this one. Got a second. It's a good day's work, isn't it, Koutafidis? He had 13, 13 and 2 goals.
Well, he was very good earlier in the season, Koutafidis. Been down the last couple of weeks, but this will give him a bit of confidence. Well done by Mitchell to shrug off the tackle.
So a 90-point margin to the Carlton side late in this last quarter. Round 10 at Princes Park. They work it beautifully to Lynn, and Lynn beautifully to Pearce. It really has been some precision football from the Carlton midfielders and setting up this wonderful forward line on a day of terrific weather with 24 goals. 25 goals if he can kick this. It's just a marvellous, marvellous day's work from Carlton. Pearce, 4th goal. Carlton's 25th.
So easily, doesn't he, Pearce? He gives the impression. First time I've seen him this year, I've been very impressed. Lynn getting the ball out of the centre, delivering it well to Pearce. There's a contest, Ratton, Lynn. Lynn in turn to Pearce. Look at the speed of Pearce. He's just so quick.
First time he's kicked 4 goals in league footy. It's his best performance in his short career today. 25-16, 10-10. And the Blue fans want a 100-point margin here. They need 1 goal in a minute 15. Collins taken off. You can see they're hungry for it. O'Sullivan. They'll go mad here if they kick it. O'Sullivan roars through. Bounces once. What's happened here? Free kick.
Behind play, there's a Shepherd.
And is it going to Hawthorn or to Carlton? It's going to Carlton. So it'll be O'Sullivan. He's going to bang it into Pearce. Well, he's kicked 4. If he kicks 5, it'll be over 100 points. That's what they're roaring for here.
Sullivan really does hook the ball. He gets out and hooks it back, delivers it well. Hannah going around the boundary line. His right ankle in ice as Pearce lines up.
He's got it. They love it. Look at the flags and the roar around this ground. They're hungry, aren't they? 5 goals for Pearce.
And 3 in the last quarter.
Might have booked his spot in the forward pocket for the rest of the year.
And Cooper off, Jenky back on.
Yes, it's lovely kicking. It's a tough spot. You don't expect 5 there each week. And most players I know that play permanent forward pocket end up either getting dropped or shifted because it is a tough spot unless the ball's coming down there a lot. Madness he's done all day, pushes it forward. Colin with almost a missed kick. Hawks tried pretty hard all day, as we know they will. But 100 point behind is a long, long way. Very disappointing day for him.
With his hands in, Barry.
So in the last seconds of this game, 102-point margin to Hawthorn. To Carlton, I should say. Would Hawthorn wish. Bill Hannah there limping off. Played his part. One of the 3 forwards who's kicked 5 goals. And there it is. Fantastic result for Carlton. A great bounce back from their last 2 weeks and 2 losses. Their 8th win of the season. 102-point margin. Who would have believed that on a day like this against the mighty Hawthorn team?